Dear chemistry students, Assalamu alaikum. Here I am back again with one new chemistry problem and solution. So our problem is how much copper can be obtained from 100 grams of copper sulfate. We have 100 grams of copper sulfate and we have to calculate how much copper can be obtained from it. This problem is based on copper sulfate. This problem is based on copper sulfate. Copper sulfate, in 1 mole of copper sulfate, we have 1 mole atom of copper. Chemical formula of copper sulfate is CuSO4, and this chemical formula conveys as that 1 mole of copper sulfate has 1 mole atom of copper. So I will write 1 mole copper sulfate has 1 mole atom copper. Mass of, I will now express quantity of copper sulfate and copper in terms of mass, because I know that mass of 1 mole is molar mass, mass of 1 mole atom is molar mass. Here molar mass of copper sulfate is I will write molar mass of copper sulfate will give molar mass of copper. Now copper sulfate is ionic compound, its molar mass will be equal to gram formula mass of copper sulfate equal to, copper is element, its molar mass will be equal to gram atomic mass of copper. I will now calculate gram formula mass of copper sulfate. Copper atomic mass of copper is 35.5 plus atomic mass of sulfur is 32 and atomic mass of oxygen is 16 multiplied by 4. This many grams of copper sulfate contain or give 63, atomic mass of copper is 63.5 grams of copper. These values on addition come equal to 159.5. 159.5 is the gram formula mass of copper sulfate. It is the molar mass of copper sulfate. It is mass of its 1 mole and it will produce 63.5 grams of copper. 1 gram will produce 63.5 divided by 159.5. Therefore 100 gram copper sulfate will produce 63.5 divided by 159 multiplied by 5 into 100 grams, and it comes equal to 39.8 grams. Of copper. given our 100 grams of copper sulfate, we have to calculate how much copper will be produced by 100 grams of copper sulfate. I had formula of copper sulfate in mind, CuSO4, and from formula it is clear that 1 mole of copper sulfate has 1 mole atom of copper, or 1 mole of copper sulfate will produce 1 mole atom of copper. I expressed quantities of copper sulfate and copper in terms of molar mass rather than their moles, based on fact that 1 mole has mass equal to molar mass, 1 mole atom has mass equal to its molar mass. Now copper sulfate is ionic compound, its molar mass is equal to gram formula mass. Copper is element, its molar mass, and that too atomic, its molar mass is gram atomic mass. I calculated first gram formula mass of copper sulfate by adding atomic mass of 1 copper, 1 sulfur and 4 oxygen atoms, and I know atomic mass of copper is 63.5 grams of copper, and applying unitary method I got answer that 100 grams of copper sulfate will produce 39.8 grams of copper. Here what I did, from this information is fixed or definite for this particular compound copper sulfate, that 159.5 grams of copper sulfate will produce 63.5 grams of carbon. I used it as base and applied unitary method. I said that if this many grams will give this many grams of copper, 1 gram will give 63.5 divided by 159.5, therefore 100 grams of copper sulfate will give 63.5 divided by 159.5 multiplied by 100, which comes equal to 39.8 grams of copper. Therefore here I used ideas like formula represents 1 mole of compound, and from 1 mole of compound we know how many mole atoms of each element are present. Second idea, I used mass of 1 mole is equal to molar mass. Mass of 1 mole atom is also equal to molar mass of atom. Molar mass of ionic compound is gram formula mass. Molar mass of element is gram atomic mass. Calculated gram formula mass of copper sulfate. This was only possible when I had in mind atomic mass of copper, atomic mass of sulfur and atomic mass of oxygen. Therefore I used this information as base in order to solve this problem applying unitary method. Thank you. This is what I have got for you in this short session. Take good care of yourself. Allah Hafiz. See you tomorrow, in fact, inshallah rahman, with one new problem.